everyone, Alex at Coram Farm. We are a year 4 Oklahoma flower farm that sells retail market bouquets from our roadside stand. And it is the night before Mother's Day. And for flower farmers, Mother's Day is like the biggest flower holiday of the year after Easter, because most flower farms don't have the ability to grow year round for Valentine's Day. So Mother's Day tends to be like the big holiday. We have beautiful weather forecasted tomorrow. I've been doing all of my marketing stuff that I should be doing all week, but it's Friday night, so it's actually time to start making the bouquets. I have like 6 buckets here in front of me and a full cooler left to make. I actually have more flowers than I probably will make bouquets for, and I might save some of them for next weekend. I think our goal is like 200 plus. And that would almost break records for us, but I'm kind of feeling like we can do it. My mom is visiting with my dad, and so she is a helper in wrapping the bouquets. I've been making them assembly line style, hand them to her. She's wrapping them and putting them in the bucket, which is cutting down time a little bit, at least saving me some steps in the process. But I think my goal is to make maybe like 75 tonight and then get up early in the morning like I normally do, and just keep making bouquets until it's ready to launch at 9 o'clock. But let me show you the flowers that we have and kind of what one of our bouquets looks like. So a chunk of these flowers I bought wholesale from other flower farming friends in the Tulsa area, because Mother's Day flowers are really hard timing wise, and they started flower farming a bit before we did. So they actually have more mature peony fields that they are getting to cut on. We don't get to cut on ours yet. So I was able to put in a really big wholesale order for peonies, which are going to be the star of the show for us. We have hundreds and hundreds of coral charms. So that's like the main focal, but we grow lots of bouquets and lots of larkspur, and bouquets is a really great spray filler. It's the only filler we grow on our farm, but it's wide and it's fluffy and it's nice greenery to go with more expensive peony flowers. And then we grow lots of larkspur, which is a really great spike shape in the bouquet. So we have lots of larkspur. And then this is where it gets a little bit grab what I have, but we have lots of snapdragons of various colors. We have madams that we grew, as well as some what look like Costa snapdragons that we bought from my friend, along with yarrow. Some beautiful white yarrow, some campanula, some of them ours. These are ours over here that we grew. Some purples and pinks from our tunnel. And then I got some more pinks from my friend, along with apple mint. So when you buy wholesale flowers, you need to be extra strict about pricing them for retail and putting together a formula that's profitable, because you are paying for those flowers. And so you're really needing to price them in a way that you're not just buying flowers, making a bouquet, and then they're paying you back for what you spent, but you're actually making a profit on the deal. So I have a very strict formula that I'm trying to stick to that makes everything profitable, but also makes for a beautiful bouquet. And we've made about 30 of them so far, so I'll show you. So spring flowers are very expensive to grow and to buy for wholesale. So these bouquets are not going to be chock full of stems and kind of really chunky like the summer flowers are, where you have like a big thick sunflower. They're not very expensive. You can put in lots of celosia and statice to bulk it up. These are going to be smaller, but they are full of premium flowers. So everyone is going to get 2 peonies, and then lots of beautiful secondary blooms and fluffy filler. And I think they look beautiful. We'll put a picture on the screen. I took a picture for marketing of a couple of them, but I'm really happy with them. I just have to be very strict and not accidentally overstuff and tank the profitability on these. But I'm also noticing that the peonies are really starting to open up here in the cottage. And so as I fill a bucket, I'm going to be putting them back in the cooler to stay in there overnight, because I would prefer they stay a little bit tighter until it's time to take them out to the stand, so that people get to enjoy them for maximum vase life. So we need to take some of these buckets to the stand and get going with my assembly line. Happy Mother's Day! So all the flowers are made. This is everything plus 5 more buckets in the cooler. I ended up with 191. I was so close to hitting that 200 mark, but we only have peonies left, and a straight peony bunch to be profitable would only be about 4 peonies, and I'm just not sure I want to do that. I would rather save them for sales next week with more filler that we have from our field. So 191 is what we've made. There is a general recipe, but a little bit of personality to each batch as I'm working through all of our flowers. I will say, if you are curious about our exact recipes we used or any other recipes that we've used in the past in our videos and on our farm, we have all of that information over on our Patreon. We sell a stem pricing sheet that's just a PDF download of every flower we grow and what the price I use to make our formulas. We also have a download that's all of our recipes, or if you want just tons more information, videos, Q&As, more downloads, if you sign up for our Patreon, you'll get all that extra information. I think it's a great deal, and it's tons of information because we've been doing it since August. So the good back catalog. But I'm excited. Eric brought the tractor over, so we need to start getting all of these flowers loaded up because people are already in line. So it's go time. For about 10 minutes to open, a line is forming, which is always exciting to see. We have the flowers out. I learned a little bit with Easter when we're really busy and we have a long car line. When I put out every single bucket that we have available, it slows people down because naturally they want to look at every single bouquet. And in order to keep the road clear, keep people happy from not waiting in line too long, I want to keep it moving at a decent clip. So I held back 6 buckets in our cottage. And so as we start to sell out and buckets start to empty, I'll be restocking them rather than having everything out at once. So that's what we're doing. We have, I think 10 or 11 cars in line right now, which is great. We'll still open right at 9 a.m. So I'm gonna do a couple social media marketing posts. We tested our payment system, the Wi-Fi's working, and we're ready to start our Mother's Day sales. And we have 50 left. So I made as much as I could. So
I can see the end, Mommy. Mommy, I can see.
So it's almost 10 o'clock. We have 23 remaining, and we finally don't have any cars in line. Our big flurry is over. I'm thankful because I was getting nervous there because most people are buying multiples. Very few people are buying just one. We had 4 people buy 10. We had a bunch of 8s and 6s. So I was nervous that people would be waiting in line for a while and then they wouldn't have anything by the time they got here. But we got through the line. So now I feel better about saying we sold out at the end here in a little bit because we didn't leave anyone waiting, because that would really bum me out. But it's really exciting that I think we eventually will sell all of these out and have sold the most that we've ever sold in our 4 years. Obviously, the ideal would be to be open all day and to kind of hungry hippo up every single possible purchase we could. But we used every single stem that's ready on our farm, as well as every single stem I could buy from my flower farming friends locally. I bought everything they had available. I used everything I had. So I know that we at least maxed out our potential of what we could sell from what we had access to. But I'm also gonna go here when we're done, jot down a bunch of notes on what I observed if people liked, what I wish I had more of, and some ideas for next year to have more of our own stems, as well as, buying in some peonies and the other stuff that I've bought from friends in the past. But
what was the favorite combo?
Pretty much everything is coral this week. I think the The second favorite were people that found a couple of the Sarah Bernhardt ones, that light pink classic peony. They really liked those. All of the red and white peonies are gone. People really liked the lavender purple snapdragon bouquets. They sought those out. So note to self, I will write that down. But so many of them were fairly uniform, give or take, that, you know, it wasn't kind of like tulips and stuff where you could zone in on like a particular color. But everyone seems to really like them because everyone wanted peonies. So normally on big holidays like Easter and Mother's Day, I staff the stand because it helps people check out faster. It minimizes confusion. And then people do like to see a face to the farm, especially new people that are a little like insecure or nervous because they haven't shopped with us before. I'd like to be here. But our stand is also set up to be self-serve. And right now when we have about like 15, 20 left and there's not a car line, I'm gonna go inside and actually eat because I can't just be fueled exclusively on iced coffee as much as I would love to be. So we have a sign that when people walk in, they directly see the sign and explains to them where to pay. Typically, you think you're really obvious in what people should do, and most of the time people just don't get it. And so you need to over explain like where to check out, have signage. So we have this sign, we have our checkout area that explains so that people can understand. We have a camera in the stand that we can see on our phone, so I can kind of like check in and see if we're getting close to sold out. I can update our social media, all of that. But it's nice that the stand can move to self-serve so that we can slowly sell out the remaining 15, 20, but I don't have to stay here. That's one of the reasons why we invested in our checkout kiosk system. So yeah, so people can still pay credit card. This is a square docking station. We have an old generation iPad here, and we pay for an app called Kiosk Buddy, which is just a third-party app that allows people to self-checkout through the Square payment system. Square doesn't allow self-checkout. It's usually like at a farmer's market or whatever. You're the one swiping the card for people directly to your account. This keeps the back end private, and they can just check out. So they would click the bouquet, they would add it to the cart, they would check out, and they can do chip or tap, and then it gives them a confirmation. And that has worked out really nicely for us because people are getting more and more used to using checkout kiosk systems. And because we're $25, sometimes people don't have that exact increment of cash versus like just a 20. So this has worked out for our volume really, really well for us. We really like that. But yeah, it's ready to move to self-serve mode. Again, if you are new to our channel or just in general, you want to know more specific details about our flower farming operation, how we sell, 170 bouquets in 45 minutes, join us over on Patreon. We've tried to make that really affordable, especially for those of you that are new or you're dipping your toe and you don't want to invest in a big flower farming course yet. Join us. I love to answer questions. It's a great community over there. There's over 100 of you now, and I really, really love it. So I'll put that link in the description. But, woo, that was loud. Happy Mother's Day to all of you. This is a wonderful Happy Mother's Day to me to have a good sales day, but I'm also ready to put my feet up and rest. Maybe Eric will make me a fancy latte or something and we can celebrate. Bye guys. I also said I can't be fueled on coffee and I just ordered another coffee, but this is where I'm at. Oh no, I've sat down. So I feel all the aches and pains. I feel like I have a 60-year-old back. Drive me away. Take me home.
Get the endorphin flush.
We also have so many farm tours to do.
What do we do? What do you mean?
Like I have little like nitpicky things, like we need to pinch the celosia, we need to pinch the marigold.
We got our first zinnias.
We need to rip out. Oh, you want to talk about that? Completely the wrong color.
Oh my gosh.
Look at them! They're all orange. I didn't order orange. I ordered green. Look at, they're all tangerine orange, and I ordered queen lime.
They just sent the wrong ones.
So just add it to the roster of farming in 2025. So I hope people like orange. Our customers like orange. It'll be fine. But like, of course, right? Orange City is.
Well, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. I gotta go find my baby. I haven't seen him this morning.